How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another Marvel Snap video. Mobius M Mobius coming out today. I have 3 day 1 decks for you to play. Specifically on day 1. They're going to be good later on as well. However, I think on day 1 you're going to see a lot of Mobius decks out and a lot of people trying to abuse his ability or take advantage of other people playing with his ability. One of the main counters to this card and one of the main synergies of this card is Wave. If you have Mobius out and you play Wave, it works great for you and not so well for your opponent. If your opponent plays Mobius and they play Wave, it works great for them and not so well for you. So Wave is a fantastic card to play with and against this card, and I think you're going to be seeing a lot of Wave on the ladder, specifically on day 1 and for the first few days, at least for this week. So the first couple decks are playing into that and trying to take advantage of the waves being played. And the last deck, I think, is going to get better with time. I don't think it's going to be... It could work well for you on day 1, but it could also be frustrating. I have no way of really knowing how hard it's going to be to play decks that utilize cost reduction. I don't know how many decks you're going to face with Mobius out. So let's just get into the decks. The first deck is going to be an Alioth ramp deck. So this deck is mostly what I've been playing for the last week. Obviously, instead of Mobius, I was playing Jeff, and instead of Sandman, I was playing Nebula. I believe this is the deck that was in the Marvel Snap Zone tier list that I did last week. I think it's in the tier list this week as well. Still got to film that video, so check me out over there if you haven't. But this deck is kind of going all in into the ramp. If you want, you can swap out your 2 cards you can really play with are Ireland and Sandman. You can play a Nebula instead of one of them if you want a little bit better of an early game. I decided to kind of go more all in because you are ramping up either with Electro or you're playing your own wave. You don't care if they get a wave off because generally you're going to be playing 1 card a turn anyway, and you really just want to drop your big cards as early as possible. So if they play the wave, going to be dropping 1 card anyway, and it's not a big deal. Sometimes it'll actually help you because you'll be able to play a 6-drop on turn 4, turn 5, whatever it is. I think this deck is just the safe bet for Mobius on day 1. For those of you who haven't played ramp decks before, you're looking to play either Electro or Wave on turn 3. Obviously, Mobius on turn 2, that's all you have. You're skipping turn 1. Electro or Wave on turn 3, and there's 2 different lines you can kind of take there. If you play Electro, then on turn 4 you're looking to play Double Dino or Sandman. Sandman is in this deck to take advantage of those Mobius decks that are looking to reduce the cost of their cards as much as possible. Things like Loki, I don't think you're going to see a lot of Mr. Negative, but even Doomwave or what else is there? I don't know, Sarah Control, things like that are looking to reduce the cost of cards and play a bunch of them on the last few turns. Sandman is there. A little bit slower than playing like a Double Dino, and you're moving a little bit slow because of Mobius into Electro. You already don't have much power, so I'm not sure how well Sandman will work. If he doesn't work out well for you, swap him out, just play a Nebula, get some early game in there, and it'll be a solid deck. If you don't play Sandman, you can play Double Dino, get a lot of power, and then on turn 5, you're looking to play 1 of your 6-drops, and on turn 6, another 1 of your 6-drops. You also have the option of playing Wave on turn 5. Again, going to be pretty slow and I think a little bit behind if you're just playing Mobius into Electro and then into a Wave. So I would I guess Mobius into Electro into like a Double Dino into a Wave. So I'd be a little bit wary about it, but it's just a standard ramp list. The other line is if you play Wave on turn 3, you're just trying to fire off Galactus on turn 4. That's your main win condition. From there, you can play like a Double Dino and then hopefully have priority play Alioth to win the game. It's a fun ramp deck. Ramp, you get to drop a bunch of big drops as much as possible. I always have a blast with it, and I'm excited when ramp comes around to be the top of the meta. Get to play it again, get to compete with it, and Alioth is just a massive card that got added to this list. Next up, another deck that does not care much about Wave. Of course, Evolve Doomwave. The original list ran Armor. I swapped Armor out for Mobius. I don't think Armor is 100% necessary. You're not protecting much. Killmonger's not too prevalent in the meta, and neither is Shang-Chi right now. If you don't have Jeff, go ahead and swap Jeff out for Armor. You also have the option here to swap out, say, Cosmo for armor or just another 2-drop. The reason being, if you get Mobius out and you play Wave on turn 5, you'll be able to drop one of your 6-drops, your Doom, your Chavez, your Hulk, and then you'll be able to drop another card with it. Obviously, your Mobius will already be played. Your 2 1-drops, Sunspot and Nebula, aren't great to drop on turn 6. So right now with this list, you have Misty Knight, Jeff, and that's it. That's your only options to drop along with that 4-drop, 6-drop. So if you swap out Cosmo, if you're not getting much use out of him, you can swap him out and play another 2-drop, again, armor or something with an effect, whatever you want. It's your kind of play around slot there. And then on turn 6 or turn 5, you can play Wave. Turn 6, you can play Doom, Chavez, Hulk, and that extra 2-drop. You have another chance to draw something to drop with them. Again, just a deck that doesn't care much about getting Wave played against them, doesn't care much about cost reduction. You're playing Mobius to hopefully get a better turn 6 off, and you're playing Mobius to counter those cost reduction decks that you're going to see a lot of. So definitely try this one out. My favorite of these two is going to be that ramp list, but this one is also, I think, going to be really successful, especially early in the week. The last deck is one by Glazer over at the Snap Judgments podcast. I think this deck is going to be included in his video that's releasing today at 4 o'clock. He showed me the decks he's playing on there. He told me I can use one of them in my video, but please go check out his video. The decks he's showing are really cool. They all look really fun. Some of them are cost reduction based that I think are just going to be fantastic decks. I don't know, again, I don't know how good on day one because there may be a lot of Mobiuses. However, the decks are very solid, and just please go check them out. This is, of course, a Death Wave deck. The idea is destroy a bunch of stuff, have Mobius out, destroy a bunch of stuff. On turn 5, you can play Wave, and then because Mobius doesn't make everything cost 4 for you, your death will be able to cost 0. You can play one of your 6-drops like Eliath, America Chavez for 4. You can play death, hopefully for 0. And then you can play even another 2-drop or 2 1-drops with Yondu, Squirrel Girl, Carnage to destroy some stuff, whatever you want. You have a few extra energy to play those cards on turn 6. So it really makes for an explosive turn 6. Some swaps you can make here if you want. If you don't want to play Eliath, if you don't have Eliath, you can play even just like a Doom or something in there. Just another strong 6-drop. But overall, I think this is going to be a fun deck. It is relying on cost reduction, so definitely play it depending on the meta that you're seeing. If you're seeing a lot of Mobius decks, you may get frustrated with something like this, so revert back to the other 2 decks that I showed you. These are the decks that I'm going to be playing. The ramp is probably what I'm going to try right away. I'll play with Doom Wave a little bit, and then depending on what I'm seeing, I'll be trying this Death Wave deck as well. All that being said, if you like these day 1 decks, let me know in the comments. Maybe I can do one every week. If you're not a big fan and you just like the bundle stuff, let me know also. Trying to add some extra content to this channel so I'm not just the bundle guy. Been super busy with my new puppy and stuff lately, so trying to get back into this, trying to put out more videos for you guys. Again, let me know in the comments, and as usual, if you love all things Marvel Snap, make sure you like and subscribe, hit the bell. I'll see you in the next one.